Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? It's almost 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's the time we start. Every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. How are you? How you feeling? Let me know in the comment section where you are and where are you watching me from. So we can get started. Let me know in the comment section. How are you? How you feeling? I'm posting it on my live session. I'm posting it on my other platforms, okay? Copy link. How are you? Are you feeling? Let me know. We're here live to answer questions. We're here to answer questions. Let me know in the comment section. Live session start now. Live at now. Okay, let's get right into it. We have a understand. We're trying to understand the visa suspensions memo, and we want to talk about the latest immigration news. But meanwhile, if you have a question, please put it in the comment sections. What is the latest immigration news? The latest one, as you already know, the U.S. is going to be suspending starting next week visa issuance of at least 75 countries starting next week. January 21st, which is next Wednesday. Okay. So if the person has been actually interviewed, their interview will be canceled. Uh, yeah, pretty much. And if the visa is issued on that day, then it's going to be revoked. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what we have as a news going on. The main one. But we want to talk about what exactly can you do when you in when you are under those circumstances. That's what we want to focus on. Let me post this one first. Okay, so all the posting are done. Now we have to focus on the news. Let me share my screen. Give me one moment to share my screen. Drinking my coffee. Okay, give me okay, 1 minute to share my screen. Conway, what is of immigration enforcement? Okay, let's see what's going on. Did okay. We have a lot. We want to review exactly what's going on. We have the ban and then we have the first we had the travel ban, the first one, then we had the second one issue, I guess was on December 16. Then we have the this is visa suspension. We really want to understand what's going on and what a person can actually do, right? Good afternoon, or doing Sunday. Uh, Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for showing up. So we want to talk about the latest immigration news. Let me start by sharing my screen here. Let me start by sharing my screen. Let me start by sharing my screen here. Entire screen. Uh-oh. Why is not sharing? Why this? It's not sharing. Hold on. Okay. Let me share. Okay. So, the first update here, okay? On January 1st, 2026, we had the first memo, okay? The first memo, presidential memo 602-0194, hold and review of USCIS benefit application filed by alien from additional high-risk countries, which expect. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure we don't. Hold on just a second. Just a second. Okay. So this is the first memo. They started. That's not when the memo started, right? The memo started back. This presidential memo started back in 2025, right? In December, that's when we had the travel ban and stuff like that. So, but this one which was effective January 1st, 2026. This is the memo, hold and review of USCIS benefit application filed by alien from additional high-risk countries, which expanded the adjudication pause of all immigration benefit requests for individuals subject to the presidential proclamation. This one, okay? December 16, 2025. That's the I guess the initial memo, and then they expanded on it. This one was like a travel ban for 19 countries. Then they expanded on it, added additional 20 countries. Then we had 39 countries under this memo, and then suspension of all benefits for everybody under that list. Okay, that memo is effective immediately. Place a hold on all benefits pending benefit application subject to certain exception. I'm going to go back to this exception because I talked about those exception already, but I can go back to them for national of those country. Okay. Then they're going to conduct a review of all policies and screening and vetting. Then they're going to re-interview people. You know what I mean? Re-review like this, even the benefit that was approved. Okay. As long as it was approved after January 20th, 2021, they're going to review it. Those are the national of the countries. National foreign countries are subject to the adjudicative hold and review of approved benefit. We have Afghanistan, Angola, Antigua, Barbuda, Benin, Burkina Faso, Burma, Burundi, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, Dominica, Republic of Congo. You see, all those countries here, they are going to pause pending applications and review approval notices, like approved petitions. As long as it was approved after this date, they're gonna review it. And some people will get another notice for the interview, second interview. That's crazy, right? Second interview for something that was already approved, right? But that's those are the exception. What application they're not gonna review is I-190. They're not gonna pause I-190. It's not on pause. N565 is not. N600 is not. This is benefit requests that are priority for law enforcement and where ICE has requested. Those are like order of supervision. If and deferred status if ICE is the one requesting, because we know order of supervision is ICE approving it, and then deferred status that is given by ICE. You know, those will be basically, they are not on pause. Those are the exception. And then we have the work permit under C11 and C14 only when the request comes from law enforcement. Okay, that's humanitarian parole. I forgot the C14, but anyway, this one is the humanitarian parole. Initial form I-765, that's only initial. Renewal is not on pause. If the benefit request for individual whose aims will serve for United States national interest, that's EB2, national interest, whatever type of request or other requests like for diplomatic visa, J1, the J, those diplomatic A2A, it's not on pause, okay? And the J4, something around those lines. Anything that is for the benefit of United States, not on pause. Athlete, not on pause. Including the coaches, and anybody performing necessary support role for the work, for the purpose of coming for the World Cup. Benefit requests associated with an executive order, federal notice, blah, 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 for any of those programs, right? If it's coming from anybody like DHS, USCIS, anybody that's requesting it. Decision to automatically terminate a benefit related when an individual has been granted permanent resident status and become naturalized. Okay. So, yeah. And then on top of everything, that's just like how it started. But then on top of everything, we have let me stop sharing first. Stop sharing. And then on top of everything, we have an additional ban for US visa. And that's only related to immigrants, not visitors. For those 75 additional countries, it's only for immigrant type of visas, not visitors, not students, not like non-immigrant, just immigrant type of visas. And somebody was asking, what can I do? If the person from the 75 country has a visitor visa, they can still come. If they have a student visa, they can still come, because the one that is on suspension is the immigrant visa only. And let's say the person has two nationalities, they can ask under a second nationality, right? All right. Have a happy Sunday from you. Hi, how are you? How are you feeling? We're talking about the latest immigration news, but if you have a question, just please put it in the comment section. Questions before we continue, questions. Because somebody was asking, what exactly can I do in order to defeat this visa suspension? What exactly can I do if I'm outside, or the person is actually inside, but they're asking for their relative outside? Okay, what exactly can they do? We're talking about the suspension is related to immigrant visas only. If that relative is coming for the purpose of student visa, they can still apply. If they're coming as visitor, they can still apply. If they're coming for work purposes, they can still apply. That one is only for visitor, sorry, for immigrant visa, the 75 countries. Then we have a different travel ban for other countries, the 39 countries. That includes the pause on pending applications here, the travel ban from outside, and includes the pause on pending application inside. So we have like two separate memos talking about two separate things. Okay. Yeah, but almost saying the same thing, right? If you really look at it. But do we have questions first before we continue? Yeah, because the news, it's kind of, it's strange. Uh, okay, let's see the latest immigration news here. First of all, the reason we're here is to answer questions, right? If you have a question, that's the time to ask the question. Let's see. Okay, let's answer the question. Do you think it's affecting the pending application like I-485, I-31 inside the U.S. With USCIS? To some extent, yes, right? If they're saying if the person's outside, they cannot come inside. But if the person is already inside, they're adjusting status here, then the way I will look into it is if to make sure that the person is not public to, sorry, the person is not subject to public charge, then their case might go faster. Um, yeah, because the person's, let's say the person is already here, really, they're not, unless you're referring to the first memo, which of those 39 countries. Remember, we have two separate things going on. We have the travel ban that includes suspension of all pending application and reviewing all approvals starting um, starting January 21st, 2021 until now, right? So that's a separate one. But if the person is just from the 75 countries, the suspension really affect mostly the people who are outside. Okay, that's the way I understand it. But is it going to have some effect? To some extent, yes, but mostly if the person is outside. If the person is already inside, just look whether or not the person is subject to public charge, stuff like that. I'm not the first 39 times. I'm talking about the next 75. Yeah, the 75 is mostly affecting if the person is outside. That's the way it has to be understood. But the thing is, if we're talking about visas, when it comes to talking about visa availability, it's still the same thing, to be honest, but it's not written exactly the same way. So what I will do is, if the case is pending and it's past processing time, you have to reach out to USCIS and see why it's not being adjudicated. That's it. If it's past processing time, you just reach out to USCIS and say, oh, my case is past processing time. Why it's not being adjudicated? Because the suspension is for people who are actually outside. And then you look into those public charge thing. If the petitioner or that person in question, now they're not really looking into petitioner, but if that person has been taking, like food stamp, public benefits, housing, and stuff like that, then that may affect. Because the reason they're pausing that is because they want to make sure that the person is not subject to public charge. So that's how I'll answer that question, to be honest, because I don't really know. The way it's written is only talking about people outside. But the thing is, when it comes to visa availability, it's everybody, right? So, yeah, that's how I'll answer the question, to be honest. That's just how I see it. That's how I'll answer the question. If the person is inside, what can you do is basically reach out to USCIS if your case is past processing time and to make sure that why it's not being processed. Yeah. Okay. We got it. I hope you get it because I don't even get it, to be honest. And then the other question was asked before was the fact that what exactly can I do? 70 if I'm among those 75 countries. If the person is outside, that's for somebody who's outside. You have to check if you are if that person is eligible for another type of non-immigrant visa, work visa, a student visa, you know, tourist visa. If that person is eligible for that, they can apply because that doesn't prevent them. So, or if the person has two nationality, then they can look into the second nationality and find out if they can, if the second nationality is not among those other countries. You know what I mean? So then they can apply for a different type of benefit. But I'm pretty sure a lawsuit's going to be filed, and it's going to be questioned in federal court. Those advocates, advocacy organization, they're pretty much trying to reorganize themselves, because in order to file a lawsuit, you really have to have a lot of data, and sometime maybe by next week or perhaps in February, they'll file a lawsuit to challenge that in court. I'm pretty sure they'll do that. So just monitor that. Oh yeah, travel document 75 months. That's good. Yeah, the reason the travel document is the travel document, but really it's like a advance parole for when the case is pending, I-485 is pending. The reason that this one is 70.5 months, especially if the green card is pending and you file the I-131, it's because they want you to, it's kind of tricky, right? They want you to pay additional and ask for emergency parole, because the way it works, that if you are really in an emergency and you actually want to step out based on advanced parole, you can request an appointment online, and then they call you over the phone, and then you're going to talk about the type of emergency that you are into, why you really have to go, and then you get an appointment with USCIS. You go to the USCIS field office, and they look at the paperwork, and if they agree, then you pay again, then they give you the advance parole on the spot. I've done it before for a lot of people. I guess that's why they like to make it 70, so that you can pay twice, right? And nowadays you have to pay for parole additional fees, 1,000 if the parole is granted. So it's like, yeah, kind of tricky. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. But anyway, so you can always reach out to be honest. If you feel like it's taking too long, you can always reach out to USCIS and question them. After all, we pay the fees, so we can question them. Oh, I want to talk about this news too. Federal, yeah. So I want to talk this one. Anybody else? We don't have enough questions. Okay, so let me talk about this news here. Says here, two Pakistanis in New Jersey indicted for fraudulent voting in a federal election and lying on citizenship applications. Okay. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services provided critical assistance, leading to the indictment of two Pakistani nationals for illegally voting in a federal election and making false statements while applying for United States citizenship. Okay. This one 37 and Mohammed 62 were non-citizens when they registered to vote in New Jersey. On their registration form, both men falsely certified and attested that they were U.S. citizens. Yeah, and then they cast the vote. So there are three things that you have to know when it comes to immigration offenses. That if if you've been charged with it and convicted for it, there's no waiver available. When it comes to falsely claiming U.S. citizenship, there's no waiver available for that. When it comes to filing a frivolous asylum application, there's no waiver available for that. When it comes to no waiver available for that. And when it comes to fraudulent marriage, no waiver available for that, which simply means that when a person is charged and convicted for those three offenses, there's nothing they can do about it. They can appeal, of course, but if they don't win on appeal, that's it. The person will never get anything as far as immigration status is concerned in this country. So yeah, that's just a big no. And quite frankly, when the people apply for those type of application, they just have to look and see. If you're not a U.S. citizen, why would you claim that? So, and nowadays they're really investigating a lot on those fraud. Fraud is a big no. Big no. When it comes to fraud, just big no. Don't do it. Yeah. So when it comes to those, don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. What else we have here? And just those ICE arrests still going on. And okay, so if we don't have questions, additional question, I'm just gonna stop here, right? And then come back again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing it every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If I have a additional video, I can just post it on my YouTube. But the live session every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's what we'll be doing. Every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, so Okay, so that's it, right? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna help somebody. Do you think after VAWA approval, you need separate waiver for previous removal order if already terminated by no? If you if you if no, you don't need separate waivers for previous removal order. So um waiver, first of all, waiver of what? If the person enter without inspection, when it comes to VAWA, they don't need a waiver for that because a VAWA applicant, after it's approved, they can apply for adjustment of status, um, even if they enter without inspection. Okay, so but if the person has been previously ordered removed, that's when we reopen the case and terminate removal proceedings. However, if the person has been previously ordered removed, but the person happened to be a arriving alien, they can still adjust status with USCIS, right? Even if they have been order removed. So as long as they're in this country, they've never left, and DHS has never executed the order of removal, they happen to be arriving alien, of course, they can adjust status with USCIS regardless of the order of removal, unless USCIS denies it for some reasons, right? But you can still apply with USCIS if you're a arriving alien, okay? Regardless of order of removal. But the thing is, if you're not a arriving alien, it doesn't say that you're a arriving alien somewhere. It doesn't say that, and then you've been order removed. If VAWA is approved, you still have to reopen the case. If you go to BIA, that's where your case was last heard, you reopen the case, terminate removal proceeding in order to adjust status with USCIS. Otherwise, they're not going to adjust it. They only do exception when the person is a arriving alien. Okay. Yeah. So yes, the simple answer is yes. If you terminate removal proceeding with BIA, the person is not inadmissible because of VAWA. VAWA, even if the person enter without inspection, they don't need a waiver for that. Might need a waiver if they have some other crime, something else, but not because of into without inspection. So yeah, the simple answer is yes. Okay. So this is it. This is it. Mohammed, you got stronger questions. Anyway, so we're done, right? We don't have anything else here. We come back again. Come back again. More Hossein, you need to share my videos, okay? Please share my videos and bring some other people to the live session next time. What else we have here? Okay, so that's it. This is it for today. Thank you very much. We'll come back again. We want to maintain the schedule every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Unless there's something major going on, I might just jump in the live. But other than that, I want to maintain the Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's good for me. It works for me. And if I'm not gonna be here for any Sunday, I'm just gonna post it on my post that I don't have a live session. But I want to maintain the 2 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday. Okay. Thank you very much. Until next time. Bye bye.